Hello everybody, and welcome to Last Kobold Standing, where we always roll natural ones. I'm Chris, the DM.
I'm Adam playing Ruckus.
I'm Maddy playing August.
Ulises playing Sirad.
I'm Jordan playing Sarah.
And welcome to our Mega Dungeon campaign. We're going to join the first two of our heroes, August and Ruckus, on the road outside Marina, the town that has sprung up around the Mega Dungeon door entrance. Ruckus, I guess I should set the stage a little bit. The road is through peaceful plains alongside. You have an ocean view. You're heading north with the ocean off to your left towards this small collection of buildings that has gathered in a valley between two hills near the beach where the dungeon door is located. How do you two meet each other?
So I imagine August is walking down the road right now.
Yeah.
Little haversack.
Map is all the way open.
Yep.
His face and most of his upper body is not visible. He looks like an absolute target.
And how tall is August?
He's about 5'9".
Okay. So Ruckus is approaching the road perpendicularly.
Yeah.
Ruckus is walking out of the plains.
Yeah.
And Ruckus notices, there's a little coin in the ground. And Ruckus bends over and picks it up. And then there's a horrible crash.
This poor southern boy just tumbles over. Papers are flying. Everything's falling. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Let me pick you up.
I'm so sorry.
Ruckus picks up August into the air.
Okay.
And sets him on his feet.
Okay. I am so sorry.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? I'm so sorry. I was not looking where I was going. I am so sorry.
I'm fine. Ruckus is fine. Ruckus is not injured in the slightest. Oh, here, let me brush you off. Just
the glasses are being readjusted. I'm so sorry. Where were you headed?
Oh, I was just walking through this plain right here, just looking for nice people to get to know.
Oh well, good day for a start. I'm headed into Marina. There's a dungeon I'm gonna go visit. That sounds real silly. I'm sorry. That sounds real silly, but that's what I'm doing. I guess.
Oh well, do you need any company?
Honestly, I would love some company. I know there's only one road into town, but I'm still sure I'm gonna get lost somehow.
That explains with the map up and everything. You know, you look really skinny. You want to share this orange with me? And Ruckus pulls out an orange and just rips it in half. And gives half to August.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
Gross. Another traveler is walking by and turns and just stares at you.
Hello!
They don't wave back.
Oh. Happens a lot to me.
That's just rude. August does it too. He just kind of puts his whole face into the orange, immediately regrets it. He does it out of courtesy.
I think we are going to be great friends.
I think so too.
Let's fast forward a little bit into the bar in town. In Marina, the Duke's Dungeoneering Company runs a lot of the show. They have set up stores where you can buy equipment before you head into the dungeon. They have set up lock boxes. There's a bar that also doubles as a place where you can gather your party and come up with or find fellow adventurers to enter the dungeon with. And in this bar, we now join Ruckus and August sitting at the bar talking or having a drink or whatever they would do as they are joined by a third party member. How does this go down?
So it's Ruckus and August are sitting at the bar, drinking their drinks, chit-chatting and whatnot. And there isn't a lot of room at this bar. It's a very populous town. So Sarah has to do the thing where you just kind of muscle in between two people to place your order. And it takes a while, an embarrassing amount of time for the drink to come. So there is that awkward moment of just sitting there in between two people who were having a conversation.
Oh, hi there.
Howdy. Oh, I did not realize I was... Ooh, I am so sorry.
Oh, it's no problem.
Yeah, it's no problem at all.
My name's Ruckus. What's yours?
Sarah.
Nice to meet you, Sarah. You're a nice-looking person.
Oh, well, thank you. You are very strong.
Thank
are
you.
very
I
strong.
am. I pull out another orange and I rip it in half. Here.
Oh, well, thank you.
How are you keeping those?
Sarah peels the half of the peel off of the half of the orange that she now has.
When Ruckus rips the orange in half, does it split like?
Oh,
the
it
segments
rips in
or
half.
The juice.
No, Ruckus doesn't know where the segments are in this orange. It
Juice
just rips it in half.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's cut in half horizontally.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
Honestly, horizontal is too perfect here. Like it is an angle through it.
Oh,
Nice
jeez.
and oblique.
Yep. Just
Ugh,
There's juice all over this bar.
uncomfortable already.
Can I order you a drink, Sarah? I found this gold piece on the ground, so I am loaded.
Well, I am never one to turn down a drink.
Barkeep.
One moment. Yes, what would you like to place an order? I'm kind of busy here. Please make it quick.
Oh, no problem. What would you want, Sarah?
Whiskey, I think.
A whiskey. And can I have a refill on my moss juice?
Coming right up. Chink.
Thank you.
Well, what brings y'all into town?
The dungeon for me. As silly as it sounds.
And I just met August on the road.
Oh,
Yeah, Ruckus
well, that does seem a
didn't
little silly.
have
to you.
quite as much of a direction as I did, but here we are. Sorry, I noticed your accent. Where are you from?
Oh, little town down south of here,
Gotcha, I gotcha.
right along the coast.
I gotcha. Yeah, we're Northern Plains myself.
Well, it is good to see some.
Do you want to go in the dungeon with us?
Well, yeah, that makes sense. I was
Yeah.
already heading in on my own.
Oh, you were-
Alone?
You were gonna head into the dungeon by yourself?
Well, I'm just going in for bits and bobs. Shouldn't
Wait,
be
have
bad.
you not
everyone
read?
Is everyone in this town stronger than I am?
I mean, maybe, but you can be strong in different ways. But did you not read the giant sign next to the Duke's Dungeoneering Company?
Never
You
go
can't just go
alone.
in for
Never go in the dungeon
yeah,
alone.
never going alone. Also, if you go in once, you gotta pay 1 gold to get out. But if you go in twice, you gotta pay 10 gold to get out. And if you go in 3 times, you gotta pay.
I think it's
100 gold.
100 gold, right?
Yeah.
I've never had 100 gold before, so I don't even think I could get out a 3rd time.
well. I was planning on going in for some of that fancy magic cloth. It shouldn't. I expect it would pay for my way in and out, but I guess there is strength in numbers. So
Yeah. I mean, so far everybody I met in this town is definitively stronger than me, so I'm pretty invested in not going in there by myself.
that makes sense.
Oh, here you drink. Sorry, that's a bit of a line.
Thank you, barkeep. What are you drinking, August?
I am sticking to this single ale for the day. Gotta keep sharp.
All right, and now we can fast forward one last time after our adventurers have bought any equipment they need to buy, have gathered themselves and their wits. I imagine probably checked out a safety deposit box to drop off anything you're traveling with that you don't need to take into the dungeon.
There's like 8 maps in August.
And gathered some rations, preparing to go into the mega dungeon.
Have we checked in with Duke's Dungeoneering Company to get our seashell necklaces?
Have you?
Absolutely.
Yes, we have.
Okay.
And we're not
There we
going to
go.
do this. See,
Yeah.
we've
No.
done it.
So yes, you all have your dog tags, your seashell necklaces that are magically hard to lose and engraved with some of your own information on them. That way, if anybody comes across your poor dead bodies, they'll know to take the necklace back.
Where to pay the life insurance policy?
Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah. Where to send notice that this poor cinnamon roll has died.
Yep. So now we're walking along the coast
Yeah,
to the
there's
dungeon door.
There's a well-worn path that Duke's Engineering Co. takes guides down every day towards the door. I imagine you aren't exactly waiting for a guide, but you walk down the path out of town, between the hills, and onto the beach, where waves are crashing against the shore, and you can see down the beach a couple hundred feet a stone archway housing a simple, plain wooden door. The stone archway is constructed of bricks. Each one looks different. Each one looks unique. Many are types of rock, or just different mundane types of rock, but quite a few of them have flecks of color or are entirely composed of a magical material that inspires a little bit more magic happening behind the scenes. I think for last time we said, for like there is a brick of ice that isn't melting amongst these bricks of igneous and sedimentary rocks, and some of the rocks have flecks of crystal color in them, with two stone snakes wrapping their way around the archway. And as you approach the door, the walk is surprisingly lonely. There aren't a lot of people gathered around the door. They're mostly back in town. The beach is rather empty today, but the sun is shining down, and it's comfy and somber. Until you recognize, off down the beach, beyond the dungeon door, the silhouette of a person who is hunched over the carcass of some creature and hacking at it with a knife.
What are they doing? What is going on over there?
Well, I don't rightly know. Hey! What are you doing?
Who, me?
Yeah, we should walk closer.
I suppose so.
I'm getting food.
From a... What is that, a whale?
Yeah, a small one, but it's a whale.
Well, I guess that's just sensible. There's a lot of meat on there.
Well, yeah, there's meat, there's bones, there's blubber, there's blood, you can use every single last bit of this whale for quite about many things.
And you know how to do that?
Well, I'm learning and practicing. I'm not at 100% usability, but I can use a good amount of this whale.
Well, that's amazing. Hey there, my name's Ruckus. What's yours?
Sirad.
Sirad? It's nice to meet you, Sirad. I give Sirad a big handshake.
Oh.
And pull him into a hug.
Whoa. Well,
Where's that orange?
I'm getting there. And then I pull out an orange, and I rip it in half. And I give half of it to Sirad.
I pull out a smaller, more delicate-looking knife and start cutting out slices of the orange and eating them.
That's fancy right there.
Well then, nice to meet you. Ruckus, correct?
Yup.
That's
And these are my friends, August and Sarah.
Maddy?
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, I guess. Were you all just about to enter this doorway over here?
Yeah.
Were you? You got one of them dog tags.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to enter. It's just I've heard so much talk of the things in there, and some of it's scary, some of it's exciting, and I've yet to actually go in there myself.
Were you planning to go in by yourself?
I really would hope not. So no is the answer. No, I was not going to go in there by myself.
Well,
Sounds to me like you were waiting for a lucky coincidence.
And you know how to cook. I don't know how to cook. Sarah, Ruckus, either of you know how to cook?
Well, I mostly have bread.
And I have all these oranges.
That's a lot of oranges.
Yep.
I can cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in
Can you
coming
fight?
into the dungeon with us?
I've killed small things like boars and rabbits.
Okay, a boar is not exactly what I would call a small thing. I'll take it.
They are pretty dangerous.
Cool, come on with us, Sirad. Door's right over there. And I walk over to the door.
You all find yourselves standing, your group of 4, prepared, or maybe not as prepared as you'd like to be, standing in front of the door to the mega dungeon.
I feel pretty prepared.
Yeah?
As I'll ever be.
So how long have you three known each other?
Today.
Sarah looks up at the sun. 4 hours?
Oh. Okay.
I mean, just between you and me. Ruckus is pretty good folk. I think we'll be fine.
I like the strongest thing I've ever seen. I think we'll be okay.
Ruckus can't hear any of this because they're just too tall.
I don't think that's how that works.
They're like 8 feet tall. And these people,
tall?
yeah. Oh, that's
Whoa.
actually kind of. Actually, let me check. Anyone got bolos on them?
Nope, this is Xanathar's.
Yeah. Furbolgs are big. They are, I believe, 9 to 10 feet tall. So actually, I may be 9 to 10 feet tall.
I did not realize they were that tall.
Oh yeah, they are
Oh,
biggins.
I am 6 feet.
We're all pretty tall.
Oh no, they're 7 to 8 feet tall.
Okay.
They're 7 to 8 feet
They're-
tall.
yeah.
So I'm 8 feet tall.
Okay.
A generally tall party.
Yeah, the shortest among us is 5'9", which is not nothing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess at this point, let's ask, what does everybody look like? Like with their, their character, but also
Yeah.
their armor and bags. Like, what's going on?
Well, furbolgs are very bulky. They have gray skin. I believe in the picture they kind of have like almost like greenish, brownish hair that looks very natural. Ruckus has flower bracelets. Oh no, Ruckus has friendship bracelets.
Oh!
all around their wrists and maybe even a few on their ankles. They have a necklace made of flowers. The flowers are just kind of in the hair. Ruckus is a very dirty, messy looking person. Their clothes are slightly disheveled because they don't really put a lot of thought into their personal appearance. Ruckus has a wide grin and a wide smile. Ruckus is big and bulky, got some hair on their shoulders and hair just all over their body and other places, and is not wearing a lot of clothing. Yeah, just a loose, or a tight t-shirt and shorts, and no shoes.
With a backpack?
Yes,
Like
and a backpack.
A drawstring? With
Yeah.
only the necessities?
Yeah, and there is a great axe strapped to their back, which is covered with glitter. It's a glitter axe. And there's also a mace hanging by their side, and the ball of the mace is bright yellow, and it's painted with a black happy face on it.
That's holy shit.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Which, since these are my beginning weapons, I will probably use once and then never again.
Yeah.
That's spooky.
Woo!
Last thing you see.
Kill him with kindness.
Yep. August?
August, like I said, he's about 5'9". He is pretty fair-skinned, kind of tanned, kind of freckly. He's got like sort of strawberry blonde hair. It's very messy and curly. Wears some glasses. He wears his arcane focus crystal around his neck. He doesn't wear armor. He is a wizard, so armor only makes wizards worse. He wears just basic like shirt and pants. He's got a very sensible jacket in his backpack. He wears the backpack and a satchel, some sturdy boots, and is just a sensible boy now that he doesn't have a million maps.
Sirad is about 6 feet tall. They have a light red, starchy kind of like skin layer on parts with like a leafy bits growing out of it. They are wearing studded leather armor and just has a bag filled with, well, I wouldn't say filled with a lot of cooking supplies. Got one pan, one pot, and a variety of things that can cut.
Oh.
Some of which are knives, some of which are not knives.
Can we have an example of one of the not knife things, or is this a surprise?
It's a saw. Some
Oh.
bones are a lot harder to cut through. So
Okay.
you need a saw.
Oh, because this is
Oh.
the monster harvesting.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know,
Fuck.
I need to be able to cut into these things in order to use their
my favorite
body
kind
parts.
of chefs are the ones that don't draw a strict line between their cooking and monster harvesting tools.
Yep.
I keep my cooking knife separate from the harvesting knives. Just want to clarify.
Okay. I hope
That's-
so.
That's sanitary. So Sarah is a 5'10" half elf. She has like dark blonde hair. If you can imagine that, you know what hair colors are. She also wears a suit of chainmail and has a banded wooden shield. So it's the wooden shield and it has like a ring of iron around the outside. And she carries, at first, when you see her at a distance, you're like, oh, that person is carrying a spear. And then you look closer and you realize it's not a spear. It is a 6-foot-long needle for sewing sails.
Everybody's weapons are so, like, funky.
And everyone's weapons will be discarded as soon as you get a flaming sword.
I mean, I'm still going to sew sails.
You're all standing in front of this door, and you can feel, just from standing in front of it, its magical presence. It's not particularly foreboding or inviting. It just feels powerful. It feels inviting in the way that standing next to a sports car feels inviting.
Ooh.
Does it?
Yeah. You know that when you're standing next to a sports car, you either want to drive it or probably deface it.
Oh!
What sports cars have you been next to?
Yeah, we got a badass over here.
I grab the door handle, I turn it down, and I push open the door.
As you push open the door, light cascades out of it in a stereotypical manner. And it looks, as you push the door open and you're viewing inside, you're basically looking into a portal. You can't see what's on the other side. You can only see a milky white barrier in front of you.
Come on, gang! And I jump in.
I walk normally after Ruckus.
Or follow.
Here we go.
And you all enter the mega dungeon. The first thing you feel, as your eyes adjust to the darkness of the dungeon, is moisture.
Oh no.
How much moisture?
Damp humidity. Thick humidity. You can feel yourselves starting to sweat, or rather, you feel like you're sweating because the moisture started to gather in your clothes and make your clothes damp. And as your eyes adjust, you see at first the source of the light in this room, which is light blue mushrooms growing out of the walls, glowing, providing a dim light, but enough to see in the room you're in. As you step forward away from the door behind you, your feet clank on a metal ground. And as you adjust, as your eyes adjust to this room, you notice that you are in a small, almost spherical metal room with the door, a mirror of the one on the shore of Marina, behind you. Ahead of you is a circular hole in the wall that is entirely covered by vines and plants.
Where are the mushrooms growing out of this circular room?
As you approach one of the mushrooms to try to discover that, you see that that the side of the room is actually it's made of metal plates, and there are points where the metal plates are peeling and separating.
Gotcha.
And the mushrooms have poked their way through out from the ground behind them.
Portal 2 style?
Yes,
Yeah.
Portal 2 style.
Excellent.
And as you investigate that, you see that most of the metal in the room is pretty worn. It's peeling all over, on all surfaces of this spherical room, except for a band around the center that the door is set into, a vertical band, a circle that maps the entire circumference of the sphere in the center, which is a little bit more of a robust metal that seems to have withstood this a little bit more.
So do we kind of tumble down to the bottom of this sphere?
The door is on the bottom of the sphere. It's set on the ground, so you're
Okay.
stepping forward. You're stepping
Gotcha.
through it. So I guess
It's not a perfect sphere, then.
it's not a perfect sphere. No, it's pretty close, but there's a little bit of awkwardness in how you're standing. But you step forward. I guess Ruckus jumps forward.
Yeah.
And probably hits the surface or the floor of the sphere a little bit awkwardly.
A loud clang.
Yes, as everybody else walks in behind them.
Wow.
I want to. I want to find the door to get out of this room, I guess.
Right. Well, the two entrances you can see are the door that you just came through behind you, and
Oh,
the
that's
hole
what you
in the
meant.
wall.
I think it's that one right in front of us, Sarah.
The hole in the wall that is covered in vines and plants.
The hole in the wall with the vines and the plants and everything.
Oh, you're right. Yep, totally right. Missed that.
Who here has dark vision?
I don't.
I'm a human.
I do.
You don't.
You don't.
So Sarah, you can see the best in here. We aren't using the 5th edition rule that dark vision you can see in darkness if it's dim light. We're doing the low light vision way. So it's dim light, and you can see pretty well in here. Everybody else is having a little bit of a hard time looking around in here.
Not for long, because your boy's gonna pull out his artificer's flashlight
Oh.
that he's constructed.
Okay, you're pulling out the flashlight.
Yes.
How does this work?
Okay, so the flashlight is a sort of handheld, like small handheld kind of iron bar. On the front side of it is the rune for light, and along the side are the articles, one of which is a switch in the middle, about right where your thumb would be. And on the back side, there is a circular little channel that's been carved out, and then like sort of covered up with some little bars. And inside that channel are two bronze balls with the motion rune on each of them, and they're kept separate from each other by some little stoppers. And either one can spin them with prestidigitation, or there are some little tabs that you can spin manually. So it is a mechanically powered flashlight.
I love this. Okay.
Okay, at first I was gonna do it powered by fire, but then I also remembered that as a child, my grandfather, who is an engineer, gave me a like emergency flashlight that you just power by spinning a little crank. So like, yeah, motion runes works.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is exactly why
Yeah.
I like wanted to develop this artificial system the way that we
Hell
did. Yeah, you have the Barbarians. Just I guess a little bit of like clarification on this, that this is not something that can really easily be done like on the go. You have to like set
he
up.
made this way ahead of
Yeah.
time.
But yeah, as you're taking it, I imagine you could like you can crank it or
Yeah.
or use
Preferably
prestidigitation.
prestidigitation because it'll last for up to an hour, so you can just sort of like
Right.
do a little puff of air and then just keep it going. And if you want to turn it off, the switch, you can just like pop the switch back on.
Right. Yeah. Wow, that is really clever. I really like that a lot.
Your boy's got a flashlight. Don't need to waste no time on torches.
Or the light cantrip.
Yeah, exactly. Don't need to take that.
Well, I mean, light cantrip, you can still like cast light on something and throw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
But-
throw the flashlight,
Throw
I
the
guess,
flashlight.
but
Absolutely not, though.
that is super cool.
Are there mushrooms within reach?
Yes,
Yeah.
there are
Okay,
mushrooms.
so
in this room.
I walk over and cut a couple.
You cut a couple mushrooms.
Mhm.
All right, you cut a couple of these fluorescent mushrooms, and you now have a couple of these blue fluorescent mushrooms.
So after they're cut, they still glow?
Yeah.
Okay. So I cut about 5 of them and put them in my bag.
Okay, you now have 5 of these blue glowing mushrooms.
Whoa, that's a fancy bit of magic.
Oh, this? Or,
Yes.
no magic necessary. I mean, sort of magic necessary because it's based on runes, but, not magic in the traditional sense. It's artificery.
No magic here, just science.
It's the magical version of science.
Yeah, now nobody needs to spend their time with silly, problematic torches, when you can just turn on a light.
Pretty handy, August.
Thank you, Sarah. This is a pretty small circular room. Does everybody, want to head through?
Yep.
Go through the moss door.
Master!
As you approach the Moss door, and who's going first here?
I think Ruckus first and August following behind with the flashlight, so that everyone is safe, but the light is still there.
Makes sense.
Yep. Ruckus pulls aside the vines, sweeps them aside.
As you grab the vines and try to pull them, they're pretty thick and strong.
I help Ruckus out.
Okay. Make a strength check at advantage because Sarah's helping Ruckus.
Excellent. 19
Oh.
on the first one. So, 19 plus 5. 24.
Yep, Ruckus, you grab the vines and tear them apart.
Ruckus!
make that noise every time you move something.
I don't know, it just kind of came out of me. I didn't expect it. But it felt really good to do that. I haven't been able to use my full strength on something in a long time.
I bet.
Out of curiosity, what was the last time you used your full strength for something?
I was helping a friend of mine move her furniture. Her house was on fire, and I was helping get all of her expensive furniture out of it.
Did you help her get out of it?
I tried, but unfortunately, she went back in for some really valuable books that she spent her whole life working on. And I mean, she threw the books out, and I caught them, but then the house collapsed, and she died right afterward.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I really miss her. She was the two of us were very close.
Let's go through the door. Let's just keep moving.
Ruckus, you moved a step forward through the hole, but your foot doesn't touch anything. And after taking a moment to shine August's flashlight down, you see that there is a ground beneath, about 10 feet down.
Is this... I don't know about all you. Is this a jumping distance, or is this like a distance where we put out a rope? Up to all of you, of course.
This is a clambering distance.
Yeah.
I just, I climbed down. I put, both my hands on the ledge, and then I dropped the 2 feet until I hit the ground.
That is a pretty good
I
point.
think
Yep.
you have long arms. I think you
Oh,
just
yeah, good
touched
point.
it.
Yeah, I touched the ground.
Touch
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I clamber down and drop the
Yeah,
one
or
foot.
here, jump into my arms.
Before we move on to jumping with arms, Ruckus, you clamber down, and as you
Step
drop down onto the ground, your feet sink a couple inches into the wet, marshy dirt.
Ooh.
And from that perspective, you can look around and see that you are in a rather large room that is also dotted by these same glowing mushrooms. Are going to be dotting basically this entire zone.
Yeah.
And providing dim light basically everywhere. That allow you to see a room about 100 feet in diameter. It's not a perfect circle. I'm just using that as an approximation. That is full of this marshy wetland.
Wow. I love the wetlands. Here, August, jump down. It's safe down here.
August is gonna very gingerly sort of put his foot over the ledge and try to gracefully drop down,
Holding flashlight in several bags.
Yeah, that can happen very
Yeah.
easily. No check needed. And Ruckus, you catch August and place August down, and August, your feet also sink into this swampy goop.
After a quick shine of the flashlight, August is gonna use that flashlight to take out a piece of paper and start drawing a map.
Okay.
I clamber down in the same fashion as Ruckus.
Right.
I want to use my elven eyes and look for gators and other dangerous swamp things.
Are you dropping down first or staying above?
Or can I see into it from up here easily?
Not very easily.
I'll climb down first.
Okay. So drop down. Make a perception check to see for gators and other.
Oh. That is looking like a 12.
A 12? So you look around this room. The walls of this room are not metallic. The walls of this room are not metallic like the sphere you were just in. Instead, they are dirt, seeming like a natural cave, more or less. And as you're looking around, you start noticing just how much wildlife there is in this room. Perhaps most notably are the bugs. There are bugs everywhere. There are like little flying gnats and flies and mosquitoes, and there are snails, like fist-sized snails climbing up the walls, as well as like beetles that are like, crawling across the surface of the swampy mud. But perhaps the most interesting thing you notice with a perception check is approaching the back of the cave. The opening of the cave is in the roof, so not exactly against like the back of the room. in this dome-shaped roof. And if you go back towards the room you entered, towards the wall of the
Yeah.
problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Where are we?
I got it.
You find some eggs just resting up against the wall. These eggs are
Like ostrich size?
Are they
like
big?
ostrich size, yes, like
Ooh.
ostrich-sized eggs that are
Ooh.
nestled in a little crown nest of mud.
Oh, slow up, Ruckus, slow up. There's a lot of critters in here.
They're
Big
just
ones.
bugs.
Oh.
No, look, I point to the ostrich egg nest. Like, look at those. That's a big critter.
Oh, ostriches.
Maybe?
Well, I don't think ostriches make nests in the swamp. It might be something ostrich-sized that could be dangerous. So,
Ostrich
Eyes
sized
up,
and in the
everyone.
swamp does not sound like something I want to run into.
yeah. So eyes up, everyone.
I look down and start sifting through the mud, collecting whatever insects and beetles I can.
You go for bugs over eggs?
We're not at the eggs yet.
You're standing 10 feet away from the eggs.
Yeah, that's like 10 feet away.
10 feet of bug collecting?
Yes.
What are you cook again?
Food made of various and almost anything.
Alright.
As you pick up bugs, these bugs are larger than our IRL bugs, but they aren't as big as the typical fantasy, giant spiders, giant mosquitoes that
Oh.
bite you. They are just like there are beetles, like fist-sized beetles and snails. They are flies that are a lot smaller than that. I guess a big fly would be like finger-sized fly.
This is upsetting.
Yes, I collect like maybe not as many as I thought at first. Just throw them in the pot and close the lid.
So now
You got a pot full of bugs now?
Yep.
what kind of bugs are you prioritizing?
Hopefully beetles.
Okay. So you pick up some beetles and drop them in your pot. Though also thinking about it, holding a beetle upside down as its legs are swimming would be pretty cute.
These snails look good. Can you cook these snails?
I can try.
I pick up one of the snails.
Just throw it in the
I
pot.
hand it to Sirad.
As you reach at the cave wall to pull a snail off, you grab it and tug a little bit, and it sticks.
Oh. It's just not coming off at all?
Not unless you try to put more
Strength
strength
check.
into it.
Oh my god, but if you roll too high, what if
14
you
plus
ruin
5,
it? Oh
19.
my god!
Ruckus!
This is the worst!
I see this horrified. I've worked with snails before. You can reach under and
Oh.
just
Do you think-
they'll let go when you slide your fingers under their foot.
Can you use what I have on my hands?
So Ruckus is holding snail paste at this point.
Yep, basically. Here, let me just scrape this off inside your pot.
Oh,
August cannot watch this and is instead drawing a sketch of the eggs.
I'm very resourceful, but this is a new one. Oh gosh.
No thank you.
So,
no thank you.
So Rod, is your name Sir, or is that a title? I don't
No, Sirad is one name. So Sirad.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sirad, are you fixing to cook all these critters?
I will be experimenting and making various different dishes.
All right. Just be careful. It might be poisonous or
Oh
something.
yeah, that is part of the experimenting process of the cooking.
Well, I don't know that I want to participate in that experiment.
No. So I'm collecting these things. I will be experimenting with them, and then once I figure out what's poisonous, not poisonous, then cook and feed you, not the experimental part.
All right. Sarah touches her backpack to count how many rations she has.
Yeah. August has already checked his rations.
I do think it's 10 rations each, right?
Yes.
So, were we looking for treasure in here?
I don't know if there is any in here. We might have to just move on.
Well, I mean,
forward.
there is a wealth of knowledge, but that aside,
Yeah, let's keep on walking through then.
Wait, what about the eggs?
are you going to take any?
Yeah, I'll take one.
Why not? Eggs
Or,
look
okay.
better than snails.
We can crack one open, see what's inside, and then we can probably guess what laid them.
Well, depends on how far along in their development they are, but I
Alright.
see your point.
All right, go for the egg, and I wanna check extra hard for the parent of this egg,
Okay.
who will inevitably chase us once we take it.
Yeah, you can make. I think in that case, you're making an investigation check because it's no longer just like looking; it's trying to piece some things together.
3.
3. As you don't see any more hints or clues.
All right, we're clear.
I grab one egg,
Uh,
just one. And
you
I put it in my bag.
reach and pick up an ostrich egg, and as you're doing so, you see underneath the ostrich-sized egg, like in the hole in the mud that it leaves as you pick it up, like a hard white surface of another egg.
Oh.
So they're
And-
just stacked on each other.
And as you pull
What?
back the mud,
No.
you see that this
No.
egg is 4 or 5 times larger than the egg you just picked up.
Oh no.
Can you cook that?
Is it like under all the other eggs?
The answer to that is yes, but do we want to mess with this egg?
Which egg?
The
big
larger
one.
egg.
Oh,
I wanna stick my hands in the mud to see if this room is made of eggs.
You stick your hands in the mud, just in the center of the swampy mud, and you don't come up with any eggs.
Sleeves are rolled up. August is gonna start digging in this egg nest.
did we want to find
Big
out what was
hard boy.
inside these eggs? I pick up one of the eggs and
Uh,
No.
and
I have a
orange-
knife.
No, this has got
I
this has gotta
orange
be.
crack it open.
Oh.
No.
What's- like one of the smaller, the ostrich eggs?
One of the ostrich, not the big one. Yeah, I'm not that strong. Yeah, one of the ostrich eggs. And then.
You break open the egg. Okay,
I
this is where
prestidigitate myself clean.
this is where my knowledge, Chris's knowledge, sort of fails. I don't know what lizard eggs are like.
Like bird
lizard
eggs.
eggs are soft shell most
Yeah.
of the time.
Usually, yeah.
Usually
squishy.
soft shell.
But it's not impossible
But
to
yeah.
hard shell too.
Yeah.
However, dinosaur eggs were hard shell because they were birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I basically these are hard shelled. So these
Okay,
are hard
okay.
shelled. As you point them, you're basically whatever inside of lizard eggs look like. Imagine
Wow.
not as clear, or it's clear and then yellow.
Mm-hmm.
As
Yeah.
it's a
And then like
lizard embryo.
Yeah,
How far along in development?
grim.
These are actually so. I would say like a 70% on the development
Okay,
meter.
so like there's a solid baby lizard in there versus like it's mostly goop.
yeah.
Oh,
Um,
Well, this isn't that big.
well, guess not.
And as you're taking a little bit of a closer look at this dead baby lizard,
I pick it up.
oh boy,
Oh,
you can see it has like
Sirad,
a,
I don't know if we want to eat that one. There's not really any meat on those bones.
it looks kind of iguana-like with like light gray scales, except that its legs are longer. Iguanas kind of like drag themselves on the ground, and
Yeah.
it definitely has longer legs that would be able to hold itself up better. But I mean, it's
An iguana, but tall.
yeah, yes, a tall iguana.
We probably don't want to eat the egg that you picked up either, because it's just gonna have more of this in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
The
A lot of
goop
fluid.
itself should have a lot of nutrients that'll help sustain you all, though.
I feel like it's
Well-
mostly used up. I'm looking at this big egg.
It is times like these that I wish I had a character there to say no. So August is digging
Yeah.
up the big egg.
Gently putting the other eggs sort of around the nest and digging up the big egg.
As you dig up the big egg, you are left with an armful of egg.
Yeah.
And in the mud around it, you can see the edges of multiple other eggs.
Like big eggs?
Like 3 more big eggs.
Oh.
Yes. This
Good lord.
armful of thick-shelled lizard egg.
Is it like the same kind of egg as the small eggs, but big?
It looks
Or-
very similar. I wouldn't necessarily say the same.
Okay. But like
But they have a...
big lizard, like big lizard. egg.
Yes.
Do we want to cut a window on the top of one of them?
I think we might want to move on.
Yeah.
I don't feel too comfortable dancing
Yeah.
around these lizard eggs.
I
Yeah,
put
Big
back-
lizards are not the best.
I put back the egg I had stashed earlier.
And you drop the lizard embryo?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just
Okay,
looking at
thank
it.
you.
I put the big egg back, and then I put the small eggs back on top.
All right. You approximate how the nest looked before,
Yeah.
and pile some mud back on the big eggs.
Yep, no good eating on these.
Well, not until they grow up.
Potentially.
Something had to lay these eggs.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on sticking around and finding out what it did. I mean, I guess we kind of know what it looks like, but I'm not keen on finding out how big they are.
I'm just saying, they're currently not in this room. Definitely not in the room we just came out of. We're probably gonna go run into what laid these eggs.
You're right.
So
Yeah.
We should be on guard.
rearrange the nest and leave it as if no one was ever here.
Well, I think that time has passed as
Yeah.
I look at the lizard embryo in front of the eggs.
I mean, the rest of them are okay, but... and I'll prestidigitate everyone else to try to clear off bits of baby lizard.
Gross.
Yep.
I think we need to just stay on guard as I shoulder my spear and march across the swamp.
Flashlight!
All right, everybody takes up their position and marches across the
I'm
swamp.
taking rear right now.
My pot is back in my bag, and I have an empty frying pan in hand.
Are you still collecting bugs?
I mean, once my pot was like 25% full, I stopped.
Okay.
Which I
That's
imagine
a lot of bugs.
Yeah, that's a
it's
lot.
not it's not a big pot. It's like I don't know.
I'm
maybe,
imagining every
maybe
pot in
10
my
inch
house.
10-inch diameter, maybe like 20-inch height.
That's a
That's a
pretty
big
big pot.
That's
Did
a
you
big-
fill it entirely with bugs?
No, only like 25%.
Okay.
That's a layer of bugs. They'd be crawling
That's like
all
a
over
short
each
stack
other.
of pancakes, but bugs.
Yeah,
You know what?
it's upsetting.
Not worth questioning.
No, it's upsetting.
We
but
got a
yeah.
25% bug pot.
Right.
Let's go.
Gross. This is gonna be the worst soup ever.
Boy.
So crunchy. Let's go.
You all march across the swamp. So on the other side, on the furthest wall of this cave, from the entrance, there are two passageways. One of them is a wide opening that looks has like the words. Plants have been scraped back along the sides of this wide passageway. It looks like there are like kind of like scratch marks on the walls. Not scratch marks like there was a clawed creature like scratching at the walls, but just like something has been like pushed up against it and scraped back plants and rock and dirt. But up this path, there are none of the mushrooms. As you shine the flashlight and you're watching, or you're seeing these like scratch marks, the path descends into darkness as it widens and ascends up like a small incline in the cave, just further along. And next to it, about 20 feet away, there is another pathway. This one still has the mushrooms and is much smaller. It's only about big enough for like a medium creature to enter. And it is thickly overgrown. But you can see between the vines and the plants that are overgrowing the front of it, the soft glow of the light blue mushrooms. And this one is actually descending a little bit, quite a bit more steeply than the other path is ascending.
Well, I think we should maybe take the path that something big couldn't come after us.
Yeah, I'm feeling that way. Ruckus, do you think you'll be able to fit through there comfortably?
Oh yeah, my shoulders will scrape a little bit, but I'll be fine.
Yeah, that feels like the safer option.
Cool. I think I'm gonna take up the rear just to make sure nothing sneaks up on you guys from behind.
That's smart.
I'll be in the middle somewhere.
I will also be in the middle, if you don't mind, Sarah. I know that's rude of me, but I don't feel very capable of protecting
Well,
everyone.
ladies first, as they say. And I go to pull apart the overgrown vines.
All right. As you're pushing pushing away ferns and pulling back vines to squeeze your way into this passageway, you don't need to make a stance check for this one. You push through this passageway about 15 feet before you hear a rustling noise from behind you. back at the entrance to the large room that you had entered, the egg room.
Ruckus, is that you?
It's not me, guys. I'm the one making the loud stomping noises.
As Ruckus, you turn and look behind you. You see a dog-sized black lizard sort of run away from the entrance and sort of knock ferns out of the way, like rustle ferns, as it runs out of view back behind you.
Oh, don't worry, guys. It was just a lizard.
How big of a lizard?
About the size of a dog.
What?
About the size of a dog.
Like big dog or small dog?
Like, there aren't a lot of dogs in the forest. Like, about the size of a coyote.
Okay,
Or,
that's the big
or
lizard.
a small wolf that you befriended, but then it ran away because you were too loud.
That sounds like a personal story.
Yeah, there was a lot to that. I say we keep going, and out of the way of any larger lizards.
All right. Eyes up for lizards as we continue.
Eyes literally up for lizards. Hey, August, make sure to flash the light on the ceiling as we walk, okay?
Okay.
I know that
My
lizards can
touch the
climb.
ceiling.
As you lift the flashlight up towards the ceiling, you manage to catch a spider.
How
About
big of a spider?
like 5 inches across in its spider web, like up amongst the plants.
Oh. Okay.
And you all push forward through the vines, keeping your eyes up for lizards. After another 15 feet, Sarah, you take a step forward and your foot sinks. Instead of the inch or so that it has been during this path, it starts sinking down a couple inches, and you aren't feeling the ground beneath it. So you pull your foot back up, and it looks like this next segment is going to be
Quicksand.
trudging through. Yes.
Oh, it's actually quicksand.
Yeah,
fuck.
Oh, I was joking.
yeah.
All right. All right. I take a step back, so I'm still on the solid ground. Or what can I see just with my normal eyes?
You turn your elven eyes off for a moment. And there's more of these plants, but there's a continuation of the plants that you've been pushing through, but not as thick for this next period. You're essentially seeing, as soon as you recognize the quicksand and have August shine the flashlight along it, you see there's about 10 feet to cross of continuing to squeeze through this quicksand pool that has gathered in here. It doesn't really look like there's much room to run and jump through this thin cave. But there is definitely enough room if you were to stand on the quicksand. So 8 or 9 feet above vines hanging down. So it's not like you're going to have to dive under or anything.
So there's not any logs or stones or anything to knock over.
No, not here. You're still in a very thin passageway that you are all squeezing.
But you
through.
did say there are still vines hanging down.
Mhm.
I want to tug on some of them to see if they could support weight.
All right. You grab a vine, and these things are thick and strong, much stronger than the vines that people cultivate outside their houses in the city. These look like they could probably support your weight.
Well, this next room has quicksand, so I think we're going to have to swing across. And I swing across.
All right. So you grab some of the vines and start hefting yourself up, and then you're going to try to swing across. That's going to be an athletics check.
14.
You take the vine. You manage to pull yourself up. You swing across. You don't quite make it all the way, but you grab another vine, let go of the first one, and use the second vine to get you the rest of the way across, only stepping in the very edge of the quicksand, but not enough to cause any serious
And
problem.
it does feel solid once I get to
And
the
it
edge.
feels like solid.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
cool.
just a 10 feet gap, basically, of quicksand.
Cool. I'm going to wait with open arms to catch the next person that swings.
Who was next in line?
I think Sirad August is definitely not gonna step up right away.
Well, you made that look easy. I put my frying pan back in my bag and grab the first vine and swing across.
Well, it wasn't that easy. You should still be careful.
It's 19.
19?
Yes.
Yeah, you grab the vine, push off the back and swing and jump across into Sarah's arms.
Yeah.
And are now on the other side of this small pool of quicksand. You're still in this thin passageway, so as you do that, you're going to be pushing Sarah back a bit. And so if you want to catch the next person, Sirad, you're going to have to take over waiting with your arms open to catch the next person.
It's easy. I got you.
Are y'all sure there's not another way around? I'll take another,
You
I can throw you.
You can run. Oh, he can throw you.
August, just climb across slow like. It'll be easy.
I know,
Just be careful.
someone else should hold the flashlight in case. I think I'm gonna need both hands for this.
Alright, I take the flashlight.
Okay. And here goes your boy. Okay, that's a 13.
You grab the vine and swing across, and you reach out for the second vine to try to grab it because you aren't swinging quite far enough, but you don't manage to. But then Sirad reaches out and grabs your hand and helps you be pulled into the passageway on the other side. Your feet also landing in the edge of the quicksand and getting your boots a little bit dirty.
See, nothing to worry about. All right, Ruckus.
I check behind me one more time with the flashlight.
You turn back around you. Make a perception check.
Oh, great. I got a 5.
Look at you. Bugs, plants, nothing new.
Okay, cool. I grab a vine and I swing across.
All right, make the athletics check.
8.
8.
No!
You swing across and let go on the other side, preparing for August to catch you, and you plump down into the quicksand.
Oh no!
No! Oh no!
Hey, August. Can August reach me?
Do you want to try to reach?
I'm gonna try.
Here, have the flashlight, August.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Sarah, Sirad, can you use some help here?
I'm gonna take the rope off the back of my backpack and throw a line over everyone's heads.
All right. The flashlight is tossed to August, and a rope comes sailing over your heads down into the quicksand next to Ruckus as Ruckus is sinking into it.
I grab on. I say, all right, you can pull now.
I hope.
Gonna need everyone's help with
Yeah.
this.
Make a strength check at advantage.
Oh.
Is it just
no,
Sarah
sorry,
or is it
group
all
check.
group check?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. 12.
That is a 19.
Ooh. 5.
You pull the rope and pull Ruckus through the quicksand as quicksand gets all over your clothes and on your face, and a little bit gets in your mouth. But you get pulled up to the edge until you're laying on the firmer ground on the path. Pull yourself the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys. That's what friends are for.
Bro, do you want me to get rid of that quicksand?
I think we can do that later when we're not in a corridor.
I suppose so. This feels so gross.
Back on lizard watch.
All right, back on lizard watch. You continue pushing through the plants. After another 15 feet, this skinny path emerges into another cavern, another cave, I guess. There's probably some technical definition of cavern that does not mean this. This cave is lush. There are
Cosmetics everywhere.
Bath bombs!
Yep. There are all sorts of ferns and plants growing on the floor and in the walls. There are some flowering plants even beneath the centerpiece of this room, which is the single giant blue mushroom. This mushroom is 10 feet in diameter and 10 feet tall in this 30 foot by 50 foot room, and above it, you can see in the ceiling there is another hole into another cave above, a 10-foot diameter hole. But this room is full of exotic-looking plants. There's a bed of grasses and flowers, and there are plants that have these kind of bulbous-looking fruits hanging off of them as well. And as you approach one and touch it, it sort of falls apart into many like little like wisps, like seed wisps,
Okay.
like a
Oh,
dandelion sort of thing.
Okay.
And sort of like falls apart into like the little breeze that's in the cave, and falls onto the ground.
August is furiously sketching things. It's too many things to draw.
Wow, I could just live in here.
Are there any big leafy plants? Like thin, big leaves, kind of like lettucey, but not lettuce.
Let's see.
Yeah,
I'm
yes,
sorry.
there are big
Yeah,
leaf plants.
okay. So I collect some like of these larger leaves from these plants.
Okay, you have some leaves.
So we could explore this room for treasure, or we can try getting through that upper hole in the ceiling right there, or look for other doors.
Well, why don't we do all three? Sirad, is there... I mean, you like collecting stuff, I see. Is there anything in here that you want?
I mean, just some leaves. None of these fruit really look edible. As I touch another one and it just whips
Yeah.
away.
I was using fruit more as a descriptive term.
Yeah.
Ruckus, why don't we see what we can do about getting up to that porthole?
If we're on a pirate ship, yeah. I walk up to the mushroom and I look up. How far above the mushroom is the hole?
The hole is about another 15 feet above the mushroom.
Okay.
You think mushrooms are bouncy?
They are in video games.
I press up against the mushroom. Is it bouncy?
You know where all these little mushrooms came
Against
from
the
then?
stem of the mushroom,
Yes.
it feels spongy. Like it feels like if you could grab it and squish it down and press it.
Ease up.
You could grab it, squish it down, and like press it. But in doing so, you're probably going to like start breaking it and like tearing it and stuff.
How
But
tall
it
is the
is like
mushroom?
big enough. Like it is big enough that it could probably support your weight. So like that's just like the skin of it. I guess kind of like if you're touching the edge of like a flaky eucalyptus tree, how the bark
Okay.
like sort of like can like come off as you
Yeah.
touch it. It feels like kind of like spongy.
How tall is the mushroom?
10 feet.
10 feet.
10 feet. Okay.
I don't know, Ruckus. Do you think we can reach that?
I know I can't, but it's like twice my height up there.
Maybe we do have to find another door.
Yeah, we can find another door in here, or we could double back to go down the dark passageway.
What is everybody's passive perception?
10.
13.
Okay, it's, so, 12. 12.
Plus proficiency if you're proficient.
Sarah's is
Not, I'm proficient in wisdom saves, not perception.
13.
12.
12 for Sirad. What was Augustus?
12, I believe.
All right. Carry on.
Um,
That's just an innocent question.
Yeah, super innocent. I mean, I could probably get an okay vantage point if someone was willing to give me a boost on top of that mushroom.
sure, yeah. I pick up August.
Okay, alright.
Put August on my shoulders, and I just lift August over my head.
Try to climb on the mushroom.
Um,
Being an adventurous boy today.
yeah, I mean, you have the time to do this. You don't need to roll this if you were to
Thank
fall.
goodness.
You just try again.
Thank you for
Um,
not letting me die on this mushroom.
Yeah, Ruckus, you lift up August, and August, you clamber onto the top of the mushroom. As you're grabbing onto it, you feel the whole thing sort of sway in your direction a
Ooh.
little bit. Not that you're going
Ooh.
to fall off.
Okay.
Sway in his direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's grabbing onto the edge of the mushroom, and so it starts tilting. That
Oh,
way.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not like it's alive. And
Yeah, that's what I
August.
yeah.
No.
Hit that mushroom.
And you clamber yourself up on top, and as you're stepping on this light blue glowing mushroom, each footstep kind of launches a little blue sparkles into the air. around it. Little
That's
Um,
pretty.
It's very pretty. I put my shirt up over my face so that I do not breathe in spores.
Yep, it's definitely bad for you.
I like how
I think a few steps back away from it.
I like how aware all these creatures are, or
Oh, yeah.
all these characters are of things. Just
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is a trap. Everybody's immediate assumption.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I am from the forest. I'm a nature person.
That's true.
read a lot of books.
And what are you looking for? Sorry, August.
Another door. Any door besides the one directly above me, and also at the door directly above me.
All right, make a perception check.
Cool. That's 11.
An 11.
An 11.
You don't see any other like entrance or exit,
Okay.
but you do notice that the underneath the plants that are sort of hanging down, there's a little bit of the lush plant life hanging down over the edge of the hole. You see underneath it, the sides of this hole are also kind of like scraped up similarly to the other path you saw.
Up above us?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you're looking up above you through the hole, you can see that there's like another cave there, but it doesn't seem to be nearly as big as the one you're in right now. Which is just more plant life. It's another lush room.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Sarah, what's your AC?
18.
As August is up on the mushroom, and Ruckus has helped August up, and Sirad and Sarah are down investigating the room. A lizard jumps out from beneath some plants and attempts to bite at Sarah, but Sarah reacts quickly, turns and lifts her shield to block the lizard from striking her. Let's roll for initiative. So, as everybody turns to response to what Sarah said. What did you say, Sarah?
18.
Oh no! What did Sarah do in reaction?
Oh,
to
son of a bitch!
Everybody turns and sees lizards crawling out from underneath plants towards the entrance of this room. There are a total of 4 of them, and currently they are sort of gathered in a line, basically blocking the entrance that you just took into this room. August, you're standing on top of the mushroom,
Yep.
Looking down at everybody and at these 4 lizards.
You
Ruckus,
sick.
you're at the base of the mushroom.
Yeah.
You are about 30 feet away from the lizards, and Sirad and Sarah, you are closer. You're about like 10 feet away from the lizards. The one that got the like surprise round attack on you then ran away, or ran back to join the lines for ease of understanding this. Which now that they've had their surprise round of getting to attack Sarah, not being as successful as they were hoping, Ruckus, what are you going to do?
I stride up 30 feet, specifically targeting the lizard that attacked Sarah. And as I'm walking, I say, "Why did you do that? That was so mean of you! How dare you!" And then when I get to the lizard, I just swing down with my axe
All right.
right at that lizard. And I rolled a 2. So that's an 8. It's a hit.
In the first combat, this lizard jumps out of the way. They're much faster than you expected.
Oh, by the way, the lizards can't understand me too. Like, because of my furbolg ability, beast/leaf speech, all animals and plants can understand me. And I have advantage on charisma checks against them.
God damn.
Yeah. So that lizard knew that I was reprimanding him for attacking my friend.
The lizard
That's a big shame.
jumps out of the way and then gives these scowls at you.
He doesn't even care.
You don't. You're not his mom. And now it's the lizard's turn, and that lizard knows that you just reprimanded it. It's not happy. It is going to pounce at you and try to attack you with its sharp teeth, which includes 2 large, like very snake-like teeth. Ooh, that is a 22 to hit,
Hits.
which is going to deal 4 points of piercing damage, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Boy. 12.
12?
Yeah.
You're good. No additional effects. But following up that attack, the second nearest one is going to also run and jump and try to bite you, which is a 22.
Yep. Sir.
That deals 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I have 6 hit points left.
All right.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
And make Constitution saving throw.
Right. Critical fail.
Oh, boy. As this lizard bites you, and you can feel its poison coursing into your system, your legs lock up, and your speed is reduced to 15, or half, rather. I don't know what your speed is.
Yeah, it's 15. Yeah.
Yeah, so your speed is reduced to 15. Then 3 and 4 are going to attack Sirad and Sarah, respectively. First, we have a 15 on Sirad.
That hits.
You take 3 points of damage. Make a Constitution saving throw, and then Sarah. That's a 7 to hit.
Nope.
Yep.
These tiny lizard teeth can't get through the chainmail.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Well, actually, is this what it's made for?
No.
I crit 20.
Nice. So you suffer no effects, additional effects from the poison. Sarah, what are you doing?
So Ruckus is about 10 feet forward. Hell in a handbasket.
Sorry, getting used to having no map. There is a lizard right in front of you. There are 2 in front of Ruckus, and there's 1 in front of Sirad. Sirad is about 10 feet away from you. Ruckus is about 10 feet away from you, and August is sitting
On a
pretty
mushroom.
on top of a big mushroom.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run past the lizard next to me to cast Cure Wounds on Ruckus.
All right. So you're going to accept the attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
That is a 14 to hit.
Nope. And then Ruckus, you get healed 9 points.
Thank you, Sarah.
How do you heal Ruckus?
I run forward and I grab him by the shoulders to pull him away from these lizards. And when you feel my hands on your shoulders, it gets like a little tingly, sort of like a massage chair that's short circuiting. Where you're like, that feels good and a little weird.
Well then.
After Sarah goes Sirad. You see there is a lizard standing by its own. There's 1 facing you, and 2 surrounding are in range of Ruckus and Sarah.
So I take out that 25% pot of bugs.
Yep.
I open the lid and empty them kind of in the area between the lizards, just tossing them all out.
Okay.
Smart.
So you spread bugs in the room.
Mm-hmm. Hoping to distract the lizards,
Yeah.
because that's what they eat, yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to do anything else, or is that?
Does that not count as my action?
I mean, that's your action.
Oh, okay.
Just you could still move and like bonus action and everything.
Yeah, so I then use my chlorphyte bonus action
Right.
to whack the lizard right in front of me with that same pot.
Okay. Make an attack. Straight up efficiency.
Ooh, that is 10.
A 10 is actually just enough. A 10 is just enough. You hit it. Is it a D4 or a D6? Probably should have gone over this ahead of time.
So that's what's an improvised weapon?
D4.
Improvised weapon's D4.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Plus strength?
Yeah.
So that's 4 damage.
4 damage? Okay.
Plus proficiency?
Not for damage.
Okay. 4 damage.
But plus your strength.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
All right, you smack the lizard with the pot, and it takes a step back, dazed, and then turns back and snarls at you again.
There's food right there.
August.
How far away is August technically from this?
August is like 30 feet away.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna go with Firebolt on one of the ones that's closest to Sarah and Ruckus.
Okay.
So that is a 15 to hit.
That absolutely hits.
Excellent. That is 4 damage.
4 damage.
Yes.
All right, so you shoot a firebolt at one of the lizards close to Ruckus and Sarah, and as it gets struck with the firebolt, it staggers back. Its scales a little bit singed and blackened, which brings us back up to top. Ruckus.
I swing at the one that is the one that's closest to Sarah.
All right.
There we go. That's a 19.
Ooh.
And that does 1d12 plus 3.
Jeez.
That does 12 damage.
12 damage.
Pretty sure that's the 9. Yeah, that's the 9. Yeah.
In one fell swoop of your great axe.
Just chop it in half.
Yes. You just chop one of the lizards in half.
Wait, are these the dog-sized lizards?
Yes.
Okay, because I had been picturing little lizards. Okay, these are dog lizards.
At least
We're
the
almost
dog
murdered
lizards.
by tiny lizards.
And yeah, you turn, swing that, and just chop one of the lizards in half. And there are now no longer 2 lizards surrounding you.
At the end of my turn, do I make another con save against the poison?
Yes, you do.
And I got a natural one again.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
This poison is keeping me down. Whatever, I'm not moving.
Um,
Don't worry, Sarah. These lizards won't bite you again.
So
Ruckus, you don't look so good. Maybe you should take a step back.
I look fine. I feel fine. Whatever you zap me with, like, I feel great. I have 100% HP.
Are there no physical signs to this poison?
Oh, my legs feel a little bit tingly. But, you know, besides that.
the lizard next to you, Ruckus, furious at you murdering its ally, is going to jump at you and attack you. That is a 11.
Hits.
Oh my god. We'll see. You take 3 points of piercing damage.
And that con save.
Well, I mean, you already have the poison.
Oh, yeah,
effect,
good point.
but
Well, I succeeded on that con save.
the lizard in front of Sirad is going to make a retaliatory attack. That is an 11.
Does not hit.
Alright, and then the lizard that's alone is going to run towards the mushroom and climb up about halfway up the stem of the mushroom towards August. Which means, Sarah, what are you doing?
I'm going to look over my shoulder to see a dog iguana climbing this mushroom, and I'm going to cast Sacred Flame at it.
Oh.
So that is an 11.
What does it look like when you cast Sacred Flame?
So,
Also,
Does-
don't they make a dex save?
do they?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they do make a dex save. Whoops. Yeah, it has to make a dex save.
What does it look like?
So, whereas most clerics, their Sacred Flame is like literally fire from the sky, for Sarah, it's kind of like a tiny cloud just kind of appears around the target and then gets zapped.
Aww.
With Holy Lightning.
Holy lightning.
That's a 12.
DC 13.
Nice.
So that is going to take 1 holy lightning damage.
1.
Aww.
You tickle the lizard, the dog iguana. Sirad? Just to remind you, there is a lizard in front of you, a lizard facing off against Ruckus and Sarah, and there is a third dog iguana climbing this mushroom towards August.
Alright, I gave you food. Why are you still attacking me? I'm still holding the pot. And okay, I don't. Oh, and I hit it with a pot.
All right.
That is 11.
An 11?
Yes,
Yes.
and that will deal 6 points of damage.
6 points of
Oh, that's
damage. Oof. After you hit this lizard again, the lizard takes a couple steps away, and then is going to start bounding away, which is that doesn't happen yet, obviously. It has waits until its turn, but to just let you know about its intentions. August?
So there's still there are 2 more by Ruckus and Sarah.
And there's one that's climbing up the mushroom underneath you, but you can't see it because of the overhanging
Yeah.
cap. Yes.
I'm gonna shoot another firebolt at whatever one is closest to Ruckus and Sarah.
All right.
This is the one that you've already hit, right?
Probably.
Yes,
Yeah.
They've all been damaged at this point, but that one has...
Yeah, the one that's already
Four
singed.
initiative, yeah.
One that hasn't been cut in half by Ruckus.
Yeah, and that is a 16.
The 16 hit definitely hits.
Cool. Whoop. That's 2.
2?
I'm not
Oh.
adding anything to these, right? It's just...
Correct.
Cool.
That's the downside of magic
Yeah.
spells like that. You don't get to add a modifier.
Yep.
As you cast this firebolt that sears across the room and hits this dog iguana, it too starts backing off, and it looks like it's going to try to make its way away from you. Ruckus?
Since I see it's retreating, I say, back off! And I run towards the one that is currently climbing up the mushroom.
You run towards it, get about halfway there.
Oh, right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I go, oh, my legs!
It's like one of those nightmares where you're running, but you just can't move that fast.
Oh.
That's it? Are you
No,
using your action
I
to
pull off a javelin from my, because I got 4 of
Woo!
them, and I throw the javelin
Oh, there we go.
at
mushroom
the
one.
lizard. And I rolled a 5, and I subtract 1. No, but I'm proficient, so I actually add 1. A 6
6?
Kill me with
Yeah.
a
Does
javelin.
not hit.
thuds into the mushroom. I hit the mushroom.
Are javelins not strength? Are they dex?
Nah, they're dex.
No javelin's a strength.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, then I got an 11.
Oh, that hits.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
1d6.
Oh,
1d6
You beat me too. Yeah,
plus
seriously.
strength. And I do 11 sorry, 8. 8 damage.
Eight
Not
damage?
11. Let's not get crazy here.
Okay. But you're
8
still,
damage.
You are still dealing significant damage to it. They are...
Fucking impale it.
yeah, they are bloodied now. All of them are. And they, on their turn, are each going to make a run back towards the same entrance that you all entered from. The two in front of Ruckus and Sirad are going to just run to the entrance and get through it, unless you all want to take
I'll
an
let 'em go.
opportunity attack. Attack opportunity?
I will.
Yeah. All right, make that attack.
That's a 8.
An 8 does not hit. They're a little bit too fast as they run back toward the entrance and disappear back down the same passageway that you all entered.
I yell at them, and don't you try that again!
And the last one that's on the mushroom is going to climb down the side of the or the stem of the mushroom and run over to the wall, and then try to sort of climb along the base of the wall around the room, trying to give you all a wide berth as it holds on to plants and heads towards the exit.
Does it still have my javelin in it?
Yeah,
I don't see a reason why I'd fall out.
okay. It has a javelin sticking into it.
Oh no.
As it's running. But it can't make it all the way out of the room. It makes it almost, it makes it like 5 feet away from the entrance.
I think we're out of combat at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can take the extra turn.
Are you
Oh.
you're letting it go with your javelin?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care. I have 3 javelins left, and I never planned on using them.
Okay, so it runs away with your javelin.
Flash forward to day 32 of being in the dungeon.
Yep.
I'd need one more javelin.
I was imagining, like, it comes back at a later day and attacks you with that javelin.
This is some Jaws shit.
Hey, Sirad, looks like I'm the cook here, because I made a shish kebab.